Hello reception, how are you? I hope you're keeping happy and safe inside your home. Continuing with our learning about space, today we are going to learn about the moon. Moon, moon. So, you've all seen the moon before. If you look out of your window at night time, look up at the sky, you can see the moon shining down on you. However, today you're going to learn that some of the things you've maybe thought about the moon, in fact, not true, and we're going to learn a lot of new information. Now this video might be a little bit difficult, but I know you can watch along and learn all the new things about the moon. Are you ready to learn? Okay, let's go.
Here is a picture of the moon. Now, the shape of the moon is different than the sun. The moon looks a little bit like a ball that's been flattened. Not really flat, okay, just a little bit flattened, okay. So it's still quite symmetrical, like a sphere, but it's a sphere that's been flattened just a little bit, which is quite unusual because we only ever see this round circle type shape. That's because the moon only ever shows one side of itself to the Earth.
So I want you to imagine that this pot is the Earth. Okay, and I'm going to put the Earth up here. Now this pot is the sun. Now we've talked about the sun and we've talked about the Earth. And we know that the Earth circles around the sun. Now, where does the moon come in? The moon, this red one, doesn't circle around the sun like the Earth. Instead, the moon circles around the Earth as the Earth is circling around the sun. Now, we from Earth only ever see one side of the moon. Now, you can see this is a circle shape, but when I turn the shape, the Earth is only looking at this side of the moon. So you can see we're only looking still only this side, and we keep going all the way around.
So just like we talked about with the paint tubs, here, as you can see, that yellow ball is the sun, and the Earth, that green and blue ball, travels all the way around it. Now, the reason we only see the one side of the moon, can you see in this picture, is because when the moon travels all the way around the Earth, we can only see the one side of the moon. Now, have you ever thought of how the moon actually got in the sky? Stop and have a think. How do you think the moon got in the sky? Well, I've tricked you a little bit because at the moment there's no definite answer. Some people think that the moon might be a part of the Earth that broke off in a huge big bang, but because the moon has been around for billions and billions of years, we don't actually know how it got in the sky in the first place. So, this man, Neil Armstrong, was the first man ever to walk on the moon in 1969. As you can see by that flag on his spacesuit, he is from America, so he's an American astronaut. Here is him planting the American flag in the moon. Let's look at his clothes. They look a little bit unusual. This is what astronauts wear. So as you can see, he's completely covered from head to toe. And that big backpack on his back is filled with oxygen. Oxygen, which is what we breathe. If he didn't have oxygen, he wouldn't be able to breathe on the moon. Now, on the moon, there is very little gravity. So when he's walking through space, you're able to bounce. So if I show you with my fingers, he's able to bounce. Because when we're on Earth, we have lots of gravity, which makes us quite heavy on the ground. So when we bounce, we can just jump. But on the moon, you can bounce really long distances because there's so little gravity. Now, this is going to be a little bit fun for you to do at home. These pictures show the different phases of the moon. Because have you ever looked at the moon more than once in the sky? Some nights we might see it's a huge big circle. Other nights we might only see half a circle. Some nights it might look like someone's taken a giant big bite out of the moon and we see a crescent. That's because when the moon moves around the Earth, it's exposed to different areas of the sunlight. Now, the moon doesn't light up on its own. The sun shines on the moon and that light then bounces back onto Earth, and that's how we're able to see the moon. But when the moon is moving and Earth is moving, the sun bounces off different sections of the moon because it's only able to see certain sections because the Earth might be blocking it. So we have a full moon, a gibbous moon, which is just a little bit over a half. We've got a third quarter, a first quarter, a waning crescent, and a waxing crescent. Now, that's a little bit confusing, so we're not going to talk about all of that. Don't panic. Instead, I want you to look at the pictures. In the pictures, you can see that we've got, if we start from one end, we've got what looks like a smiley face sideways. We then have the half moon, a little bit more than half, the big full moon, which is the big circle. Keep going over the other way, and we've got it going in complete reverse. And it keeps going round and round in a different cycle. Now, what I want you to do is we're going to be a little bit unhealthy. I want you to get some biscuits. You can choose Oreos. You can choose any type of biscuit you want. With Oreos, you can use the cream inside the Oreos, or with biscuits, you might get to have a little bit of a nibble. So make sure you don't do this activity before dinner time. I want you to show me the different phases of the moon. Now, if you really, really want to impress me, you can learn the different names of what they all are. However, I just want you to focus on the shapes. As you can see here, we can see the different shapes of the moon because the cream has been taken away. Do you think you could do that challenge for me, reception? Can you create all the phases of the moon? So there's 8 in total. Let me see if you can work really hard to create the different phases.
We have learned so many different things about the moon. I have a challenge for you. I want you to see, can you write a fact file about the moon? Now, we've done fact files over lockdown, so I know you know how to do them. How many facts can you remember from this video about the moon? Maybe you can even go and look up more facts that I haven't told you yet. Keep this fact file with any other information you have gathered about the sun or about Earth, and together maybe you could even make a big book about space. I can't wait to see all of your fantastic work. Take care, and I hope to see you really soon. Bye!